We're good.
All right, hi everyone. This is Melissa Anger, staff lead, Special Olympics Maryland for kayaking. Jack will be joining us a little bit later once he gets back to his computer from his other practice. First off, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And if you could all put your phones on mute, just hit *6 to mute your phone so that we don't get any background noise during the call. That would be great. All right, so just a little agenda that we can go over. Just going over the events, the layout, some logistical things for the weekend for Saturday, and then some of the competition. So far, the weather looks perfect for kayaking on Saturday. 85, sunny, so it should be nice and dry on land, which is always good, not like last year where it rained. It's only 10% chance. This says as of yesterday at 9:30, but I did check it again today, and it's exactly the same. All the list of events, as you can all see, the 1K was added this year, and we actually have a decent amount of athletes trying that, which is great. The 100 is going to be combined with the 200 for the time trials, just like last year.
Presentation mode is now enabled.
Some of the entries and processes, I mean, as you all know, 2 events. The athletes and partners can go up to 2 events. This year we did allow the athlete to participate in the 2 events plus the 1K, since it is a trial year for that. So some of our athletes are doing 3 events, but the 3rd event is for the 1K. The schedule for this weekend, delegation check-ins at 9 a.m., the course preview for the 1K. If the athlete wants to go on the water before 9 a.m., they are allowed to, but they have to be accompanied by a coach and must be off the water by 9:45. Not coming in, they need to be out of the water completely at 9:45 so that we can be set and ready to go for our 10 a.m. start time.
Melissa, just a heads up, I don't know whether you heard or maybe you said it intentionally, but you're in presentation mode right now, so only you and I can speak.
Yes, I did that on purpose because
Okay.
I think some people didn't mute their phones, so we were getting a little background.
Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure you were aware.
We should be done the day, we think, by 4 o'clock at the latest, but I think possibly a little bit earlier. We will need your help, obviously, like always, to make sure the athletes are at staging and at their kayaks ready to go before their time of event so that we can get them in the water, get them going ahead of time, stay on schedule, make sure everything runs smoothly. And we will need your help to keep track of time so that they know when to come. We will be making announcements, but it's also going to be helpful if we have the coaches helping as well keep track of that. Just a little map of downtown Chester of how to get to the boathouse. If you get to the Washington College campus, you've gone too far. I think most, if not everyone, is going to be coming across the bridge on 213. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to get to. You make one left turn, and it's right there down on the left, and we'll have signs and banners at the entrance of the boathouse so everyone knows where to turn if you've never been there before. So here's just a little map of the venue for this weekend. I'm not going to go over all the little areas. This will be sent out, of course, tomorrow with this presentation. But a thing to note, as in last year, you can see where the F is, and that is where you will be parking and all the parents will be parking. The big open field, we'll have it marked off. There's plenty of room for parking, and then as in last year, you will be able to stand right by the water's edge and cheer on your kayakers. Oh, and just to note, this year, you can see B, the pavilion. We are able to use the pavilion this year. We won't be using it too much for the time trials, but it is available to us this year, and there will not be any events like last year. So this is kind of a mock drawing of the course. The lanes are for the 500 because, as you know, this year, the 500 is a straightaway. And it kind of shows A is the boathouse, D is where spectators stand, so it kind of shows you in relation to where the course is. As you can see in the bottom of the screen where E is, that is the 500-meter finish line. So we do believe that they will start right in the same place as the 100 and 200 and go all the way to the other dock. Once they finish that race, they'll head back over to the start line, obviously to, the staging, and get out just like the other races. The 1K is kind of like a triangle shaped. There will be buoys in the water for them, the athletes, to go around, and they'll be able to see those buoys. Just a couple reminders. Registration, have one person, preferably the head coach, come in, check in, provide us with all scratches for the day. We don't want to be at staging, calling for an athlete for 10, 15 minutes, come to find out they are not there. So please be sure that we are aware of all scratches. A big thing while one coach is checking in and registering, the assistant coach or whomever, Unified Partners, please label each kayak. We will have tape and markers, but preferably bring your own, so that you want to put the name of every athlete that will be using that kayak. So it's easy for our volunteers to grab it and bring it down to the water for them. As I said before, the course inspection, for the 1K only, since it is new and it is the only one that's not a straight. As I mentioned before, the coaches must accompany the kayakers. We should not have any athletes in the water without a coach present with them right next to each other. Also, there will be the brief meeting for the coaches meeting. We're going to make it quick. As you can see, we started a little earlier this year, so we want to make sure we have someone from each county at the meeting. We will meet in the pavilion right there. Sorry about that. As I mentioned, parking next to the boathouse on the field in the designated area, we will make sure it is marked off so you know where everything is. The trailers will be able to be parked on the left side of the field, which is right by a couple of the trees. Same place as last year. You can just pull the trailers right up, unhitch them, and then move the car into the designated area so that we have room and there aren't a bunch of cars sitting in that walking path. Access to the pier is only for competition personnel. And the only reason that a coach and athlete should be on there, the pier and the dock at any time is to switch out kayakers, or switch out the boats if someone needs to, if someone's using the same kayak and the other person is still on the water. That is the only reason for a coach or athlete or anyone besides competition personnel to be on that dock. So that's no parents, no spectators, no one else should be on that dock at any time. The rain plan for this year, same as always. We will continue in light to moderate rain. If lightning or thunder happens, then we will stop the competition immediately, get everyone off the water, and then proceed after the allowed time. Same as last year. It rained last year. The athletes are getting wet anyway, so they're going to be used to it. We did it last year in the rain, and it worked out fine. Opening ceremonies for the time trials, we'll have a very brief opening ceremonies with only the pledge, the national anthem, and a couple of just quick reminders. We're not going to do the whole opening ceremonies for the time trials. For the championship, we will hold the opening ceremonies as usual for our events. We are looking for an athlete to do the Special Olympics oath and the pledge to the flag. So if you have an athlete that's interested, please have them contact myself or Jason Schrimmel, and we'll get them lined up with that. For the awards, obviously, we do not present the awards at the time trials. Awards will only be presented at the championship. So they will be presented shortly after the conclusion of each race. Please have the kayakers, once they get off the water, head right over to the awards, pavilion, so that we can get them staged for the awards and get that going so there's no backup. We will have medical there both days. So if there's any issues, there'll be tents lined up where registration is and families' tent, and medical will be right around there as well. Lunches will be provided to all registered delegation members for both for the time trials and for the state championship. So that is for athletes, unified partners, coaches, anyone that is signed up and that has been registered. We will have family hospitality, same as usual, right next to registration and the lunch distribution, and there's information, snacks, beverages for family members right there.
Melissa, one quick thing that I think you skipped over there. At the end of the call, if there's anybody who has any special need requirements, if you could just stay on and we'll do a quick tally of that. We have some vegetarian and gluten-free all ready to go, but I just need to confirm that there's no other issues.
Thank you. Registration for championship. The time trial results will be automatically advanced to the championship games by myself and Mike, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And a roster of registrants will be provided to all the coaches a week following time trials so that you can confirm that everyone's in the correct event and let us know if anyone that you know of will not be at the state competition the following week after that. So the state competition is 2 weeks after this Saturday, so please let us know if someone will not be attending. The courses, everything is identical to last year except that the 500-meter dig is switched to a straight, and we added the 1K, but everything else is exactly the same. As Jack laid it out very well so that everyone will be able to tell what's going on when you just come up and look at it. The uniforms, the competitors must wear shirts and shorts and pants during all competitions, same as normal. Helmets are optional. Water shoes are recommended, as well as sunglasses, but they are not they are optional. Some just equipment regulations. These are all the same. This is everything that was said during the pre-season webinar, just kind of a little refresher for everyone. All kayaks are required to have a flotation device. This is a very key thing, very important. It will be checked prior to all races. And another, I mentioned this earlier, but please make sure all your kayaks are labeled with the name of each kayaker that will be using that particular one, so that it makes it easy for our volunteers in staging to just grab it, bring it down to the water for the athletes, so you don't have to worry about that. We will have volunteers from Washington College again this year, and they will bring the kayaks down from pre-staging down to the waterfront for the athletes, so they don't have to worry about that. Some on-water safety: coaches are not allowed on the water. We do have safety boats and safety volunteers on the water at all times, just in case something happens. No need for the coaches to be there. All races will be started by the following command: racers ready, followed by the air horn. That is how we will start all of our races. We will drop a white flag indicating the start of a race if there is a hearing impaired individual. Just please let us know ahead of time if that is a necessity. From the sideline, please do not coach your athletes. Just cheer them on. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, no coaching is permitted from the shoreline. Just cheer them on, encourage them. That's all you need to do while they're on the water, I should say. Just some rules for the 100, 200, and 500, which are the straight events. Again, none of these are new. These are just a little refresher for you. If the athlete fully travels outside their lane during the competition and without impeding another athlete, there will be a 5-second penalty added to their time. And the athlete must attempt to get back in their lane. They can't finish the race in the other lane. If the athlete impedes another athlete, they will be disqualified. For the 1K event, which is the only one that is not the straightaway, the lead kayak has the right of way. Everyone else must yield to the lead kayak. Disqualifications: competitors will be disqualified, as noted on the previous slide, by impeding another athlete during the race. Reruns of the event will not be typically held, unless they will not be held.
Yeah, the comment there is we may, in extreme cases at the time trials, do that, but that would only be at the time trials, and that would only be at the discretion of the sports management team.
The divisions will be sent out for time trials within the next 48 hours. With these slides, I will send them out within the next 48 hours so that you all have them and you can distribute them to any assistant coaches as you see needed. For the championships, they will be distributed no later than Thursday of the week prior to the championships, so you have them in plenty of time to be prepared for our championship. And when you check in at registration, you will receive a packet that includes everything, bibs, labels for each of the athletes, all the information that you would need. All right, so I'm going to take this off. Well, actually, we'll do one more thing. Everyone will be receiving this document. It's the delegation report. Same as always, the time that is listed on this document is the time that they should be on the water. Please have them at staging no later than 15 minutes before this time. So as you can see for Ashley Becky, that says 1:45 for the 100-200 singles. Please have her there no later than 1:30, ready to go, life jacket, anything else ready to go, so we can get them on the water and get things moving. You will also receive this document, which is pretty much the same thing as the other document. This one is just in time order, time sequence. So it gives you a little bit different time, different view of the division. Again, the time listed on here is for the start time, so please have them there no later than 15 minutes before this time listed on here. We want to make sure we're on track and we stay on time for all of our events this year. And if possible, be a little early. So that's another reason we want everyone there on time. All right, I'm going to take us off presentation mode. Okay, we'll start with Anna Rundle. Any questions? Sure.
Presentation mode is now disabled.
Sorry about that. All right, Anna Rundle, any questions?
Yeah, Melissa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a series of questions here. First of all, on one of those earlier slides, I was confused about this whole 100-200 thing in terms of time trials, because I have some athletes who are going to be only doing the 100 and the 200 meter events, and then some that are doing the 200 and the 500. So are they doing a single 100 meter thing that's going to be used for divisioning for both of those two events, 100 meter and 200 meter, regardless of what they're entered in?
So, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on this. They will be doing the full 200 meters, and we will have timers for at the 100 meter mark for those athletes that are only in the 100 and 200.
Correct.
So for the athletes in the 100 and 200 only, they'll only be doing one race. They'll only be doing the 200 meter race.
Okay.
On Saturday.
All right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we'll in essence be getting like a split time or the equivalent of a split.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Good deal. Thank you. Also, I wanted to find out, is there any possibility that I can move an athlete up from the 100 and 200 events to the 200 and the 500 events?
You want to do that for this Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, we have to, yeah. Al, we'll take care of that on site.
Okay. All right.
Because we'll write it in. We've got everything all kind of...
I didn't sign off on it yet.
We haven't totally printed out on it yet, everything, but we've got everything configured except for the actual heat sheets. It's just going to be easier at this point to do that manually.
Okay. All right. Then. And, Mike, I have to apologize because I just realized last night that I never submitted the results of our local qualifier that we did a few weeks ago, and I apologize for that.
That's a good. I should point out. You don't see it on the delegation list that Melissa popped up on the screen, but on the actual heat sheets, you may see preliminary times or qualifying times for your athletes and wonder where they came from. We went back to last year to pull anything, and the main reason for that is it let us put the fast racers together for the most part.
Yeah.
Of equal speed. Because if it's everybody is just in there randomly, every division is going to take the longest time.
Sure.
So it sped it up a little bit for those that we could, but that's where those scores came if you didn't submit something.
Okay. And I got another question. Looking at the slide that showed the 1 kilometer course and how they're going down and then they're going to be crossing the 500-meter lanes, are those lane lines and lane markers still going to be there when they do the 1 kilometer course?
That was just kind of my drawing.
Okay.
They will still be there, but it won't be an issue because the way he's got that configured, I don't know if Jack's on the call yet or not, but the lines are down almost at the bottom of the river, and the buoys that mark the circular buoys are on tethers coming up there. So going between, it would cut across between buoys. I think he'll detach a couple of the buoys at that end if necessary, but
okay.
But there's no real line, physical line that they'll be touching.
Okay. All right. Well, then that eliminates the follow-up question I was going to have then. So I won't even trouble you with that one. I'm sure there are other people that have got other questions. Let's see. I did have. Oh, and something, a rule, timing rule that I have forgotten. I'm having a brain cramp tonight. The stop time for when they're crossing the finish line, is that based on when the bow of the kayak crosses the line or the athlete's body? I forget.
That's something that we will. I have to go back and look at.
Correct answer is bow.
Thank you. I was going to say I'm going to be briefing our timers on Saturday, and I'll be looking at that. But if we have the answer now.
Correct answer is bow of the boat.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just needed to check.
Tip for the start, tip for the finish.
Yep. Okay. That's all I have. I'll turn it over to somebody else. Let them get their questions in.
Thanks, Al.
Are you going in order, Melissa, or?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep. I know Mike is not on the call, but anyone else from Baltimore City? Okay. Carroll? Carroll County? Do you have any questions?
This is Jennifer Kerr.
Hi, Jen. Sorry. Okay. Charles County? Frederick?
Melissa, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Hey, Melissa, can you hear me from Carroll County?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Sorry. So my question is about the 100 and 200 meter race endings. Are there different colored buoys that are designated the end of the 100 meter and the 200 meter race course?
It would be the same as last year. I do believe there are two different color buoys. So
there are.
Yeah. So one color, I'm not sure of what colors they are, but one will be the 100, one will be the 200.
Okay, so they do have different colors. Is there any way you could let me know those, or we could know the colors ahead of time of Saturday?
Is Jack on the call? We can follow up with Jack and get that, and Melissa, we can include that in the communication with the slides and the delegation reports and such tomorrow.
Okay.
Last year, one was green and one was red, but I don't know which one was which.
Yeah, I think the 100 was, I thought one was green. I think the 100 was green, but I don't want to quote that, and he may have adjusted it slightly.
Okay, thank you. It's just that some of our athletes have trouble visualizing the course, so I just wanted to give them a color visualization beforehand to help clarify it for them. Thank you.
No problem. Garrett County, any questions?
No.
Okay, Hartford? Okay, lower shore?
Melissa?
Yes.
When you were going over the start, talking about a red, white flag for someone might be hearing impaired, then the next stop or whatever talked about a red flag being dropped. And
That's if there was a false start or anything like that.
okay, it said, what it said, I think it said that it would either be at the beginning of the race or further down at the end of the race. Do we do ours at the beginning of the race? Or like close to where everyone can see it and not far away?
Let me get back to that slide.
Yeah, Pam, it'll be right there at the dock. The starter is, if you remember there from last year, and I apologize for those who weren't there physically last year. It'll be right there. It'll be to the kayakers' right, where the starter will be. So it'll be slightly in front, but it'll be very close.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have a question from Frederick, and I wanted to clarify on the 500 race. Are the lanes going to go all the way out for the full length of the 500, or they go 200 and then it's free for all?
No, it'll go the entire 500.
The entire 500, so there'll be
Yeah.
4 lanes, 4 people going at once. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. We should say though that the buoys will be a little bit further apart in each lane once it gets to the 500, though. But it'll still be an obvious lane.
Okay.
Okay, Montgomery County.
Hi, is Alan Seifert. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have several items. Putting the name on the kayak, we have a situation which I don't think is going to be unique to us, where we have, say, 3 kayaks that are identical, and we don't know which athlete is going to be in which one of those 3 athletes until we see how the races go in terms of where people are placed and what heats they're in. So it's going to be difficult and potentially impossible to have an athlete tied to the specific one of the 3 identical boats that the athlete would use.
Alan, just put all 3 names on all 3 boats. That's what we're doing.
Well, no, okay, well then there'll be a lot of names on each boat.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's supposed to be last name, right? We did first names last year and totally messed people up.
Yeah, go by last name. Alan, and also have...
It needs to be the last name and just put all 3 of them on there.
Yep.
Okay, so...
But Alan, if in that situation, you'll need to have a coach over in that pre-staging area to designate the specific boat that you want with the specific individual.
Yeah, sure. We did that. We did that each year. We'll do that again. Also...
Hello, this is Jack. I'm on board.
Also,
Hey, Jack.
I just want to confirm what's been the case before, that boats that have an enclosed area in the rear where water can't get in, you don't need a flotation device for those boats.
That's correct.
And moving on from there, it would be helpful, not from a competition standpoint, but from a general logistics standpoint, if we could be told, even when you send information out tomorrow, what the selection will be for lunches, so that then that's not something that we're dealing with on a last-minute basis on Saturday.
It's turkey, ham is vegetarian, which is like a vegetable eggplant or whatever, and it's a gluten-free turkey.
Okay, so those are the 3 choices?
Well, those are the 4 choices.
4 choices.
Sorry,
Ham.
turkey, ham, vegetarian, and...
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free, which is a turkey sandwich on gluten-free bread.
Okay.
Can they make that whole lunch gluten-free? Last year, the gluten-free came out with, the sandwich was gluten-free, but then it had all kinds of other stuff that was not gluten-free.
We have instructed them. That's happened at some other events, and
Thank you.
That over the year we've told them to yes, it doesn't help to have anything with gluten in it.
And another point, am I correct in assuming that on the 1K that the fastest times will go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the last thing is I would find it helpful, and perhaps others, if you could put back one of the earliest slides that has the overall schedule of the day, and we could look at it for more time than we had before when you first went through it.
I can do that.
Thank you.
There it is. No problem.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Pennsylvania, Adams County. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't have any questions. I would like to say thank you. You guys put on a great race, and it's well organized, and I love the location.
Thank you. We enjoyed having you there.
For everybody's information, this is Jack. We will set the course tomorrow and tweak it Friday, and everything will be marked. And at this time, I'm planning on having stakes on either side of the course at the finish line with like the fluorescent ribbons on them, so that as people come down, they can see where it is.
Jack, we had a question earlier about what color you might be posting at the 100 and the 200.
I was going to use yellow balls. I've got the big yellow balls at the. I was going to post those at the 200, but I was just going to have stakes at the 100 for this one because they're going to go straight through the 100 to the 200, and we take the split at the 100 for their 100-meter qualifying time. So we don't want them to stop, and we don't want to give them any reason to stop. For the final, on the third, we will we may have the yellow balls at the 100 for the 100, and then just move them down and hook them on at the 200-meter finish line, and we'll have red ones, probably big red ones, down at the 500-meter.
I realize it's not my turn yet, but this is TJ from St. Mary's.
No.
I have an athlete that's only doing the 100, and I'm concerned that he might not even make it all the way to the end of the 100. Is there any? He was not there last year.
TJ, the two athletes that are, there's only two athletes that are only doing the 100. They are both in the final heat, and we'll give them the option.
We'll have safety boats and everything waiting for them.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep. But at the same time, if you think that they can continue, if I forget who the other athlete is, actually I think it's yours, Jack.
Yeah, I personally, I scratched two of my athletes because I wasn't comfortable with them even doing the 100.
Yeah.
And I scratched them because I felt it wasn't fair to the other competitors to do that. But anyway, and for the 500, I have not only the kayaks for safety, but I have at least one and maybe two power boats on the water that if people get down there and decide they can't make it back, we can bring them back with the power boat.
Great.
Alan Seifert, just a very quick follow-up. Don't want to beat a dead horse on the names on the boats. I'm going to, based upon what you've said, I'm going to have 3 boats that will probably have 8 names on them each. And if that's going to be meaningful and helpful, then that's what we'll do. But I just wanted to give you the magnitude.
Al, I'll tell you what, Nick Anderson is going to be coordinating the staging area. On Saturday morning, talk to him and figure out between him and his crew what'll work for them. Because you're right, if you putting 8 names on there it serves no purpose.
You have to understand that it's for the purpose of the people who grab the boats and take them down to the water to be able to find the boats that they're looking for.
Yeah, no, we'll provide the assistant, the coach support to be sure that the boats move timely. But I just wanted to make that point, and you've answered me. Thank you.
Yep.
And Alan, I am going to be sending out the delegation report, so that does have the time of all the races on there as well. So that might be helpful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. All right, York County. Any questions from York?
No.
No? Okay. St. Mary's. TJ, any more questions?
I do. I have one more on the the preview in the morning, if we get there at 8:45 or 8:30, are the balls going to be set for the 1,000 meter?
Yes.
Okay, so they will be set first thing in the morning. So if we get there and put the athletes on at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, the balls will be set.
Right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's all my questions. Everybody else got the other ones.
All right. And I guess I can ask Jack, do you have any questions?
No, I just want everybody to understand, that we're doing a new thing which brings us actually into conformance with international standards as well as what people did this past, some of the people that competed in the World Games at Special Olympics. And really what Special Olympics has in their guidelines for kayaking, the only thing that you have to think of, remember the 500-meter course is a little over a quarter of a mile long straight. We will have buoys every 10 meters. I was going to space them out on the second 300 to like 15 meters or maybe more, but went ahead and put them every 10. So there's going to be, in your mind, think about it, okay, each 500-meter run, okay, will have 50 buoys, okay? And it will not be at all difficult for the athletes to follow the course right down because of those buoys. I mean, it's like a fence. Okay?
That's great, Jack. Thank you.
And we will be doing held starts. So that simplifies everything, really.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jack, so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put so much into this. It's phenomenal.
Jack,
this year I've got about 70 hours so far into the construction of the course and everything.
Sure.
We've got about another 4 or 5 hours of installation. But once I get it done, I will write a manual both for the design of the course as well as for the installation so that other people, if they want to do it, they can do it, along with an estimated cost.
Thank you.
We're going to be racing on a course that if we bought it professionally would cost about $15,000. And if we rented it from the American Canoe Association people, it would cost us as much as it costs us to build this one. And we get to use it more than once.
Good job.
So just give you some relationship as to what was involved.
well, we appreciate it, Jack.
So anyway, anybody who's going to have people, and pardon me, Melissa, for doing this, who's going to have people come on Monday that can't make it on Saturday? Hello?
Sounds like you got nobody, Jack.
Well, I know that I'm going to have somebody from
Lower Shore.
Arundel, and we're going to have, I think we're going to have somebody from possibly, well, maybe not, but originally Lower Shore, and I've got 2 people who will be away and will be getting back in town on Sunday.
Jack,
Yeah.
this is Pam from Lower Shore. We will be there Saturday and Monday.
Okay. Mike.
Yes.
If people come on Saturday and do the qualifier, do they have to come and do a second time trial on Monday?
Not specifically at your location. They would need to have had one at some point during the season. We can talk about some unique situations if we need to. As a follow-up on Jack's request on that, if you could please, I'll be handling, at least until I have to go over and talk to the timers, I'll be handling delegation check-in. If you do have anybody who is coming on Monday evening, please let me know then as well, because we don't want to scratch them inadvertently and then have to figure out what to add them back in for. So I'd want to be sure that we have them properly flagged in the computer system. And the best way to do that, if you could tell us on Saturday.
Yeah, and I would like to know also, since I've got timers coming in to help me with that.
Yeah, that said, there were also in GMS, and I don't know whether some of your GMS folks did this, there were some people who were scratched after they were put into events. And I'll use as an example. Greg and Mike Janis were scratched. I have not removed them because I wasn't sure if someone had scratched them because because their medicals and their paperwork was all fine, that they had gotten scratched because they weren't coming on Saturday but were coming on another night. So if you do see somebody who is not coming on Saturday but coming on Monday, and they don't appear on your reports because the reports don't show anybody who's scratched,
Okay.
they'll touch base. First of all, don't have a panic. We can deal with it. And secondly, still point that out that they're coming on Monday. So, but Mike and Greg or Janice were ones that popped out because I think they did the same thing last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'd just like to know how many people we're going to have, and we'll run a full-blown time trial so that people can get that additional thing in on Saturday.
Mike, I have a question. Our time trial was canceled because of the rain, plus our training site, the water level is getting really low, that it's really difficult.
Yeah, we have
that waived?
I can give you, we have a standard, well, I shouldn't say standard, but it is not uncommon that if an event like that had to get canceled due to weather or some other unavoidable circumstance, then we frequently will count that. Just send something in writing to Melissa, as she happens to be both your sports lead and your regional sports director, and we can take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, anybody have any questions as far as I'm concerned? Okay. Mike, I need for you to answer a couple of the questions I sent you by email.
When did you
concerning the porta potties and stuff like that?
Okay.
Can we go over anybody that needs to do special meals?
Yeah, I was going to say, Jack, I'll call you. I haven't looked at the email just yet.
Give me a call, tomorrow at your convenience. I'll be...
Okay.
The phone will be in my pocket, let's put it that way. You've got my cell number, right?
Yes, I do. And actually, I may just have Melissa call you because she'll be the person on site. But TJ is exactly right in terms of before you came on board, I got on the phone. We had asked folks who have special meal requests to let us know at the end. So don't want to keep other folks on the line longer than.
Okay.
So Jack, I'll call you tomorrow.
That's fine. You've got my cell number.
I do.
Okay, because I'll be over at the boathouse, probably on the water, but I can get good cell reception.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Okay, TJ, you have some special requests?
Yeah, we have 2 gluten-free.
Okay.
And it's celiac, so it really, really needs to be gluten-free.
So you need 3 gluten-free or just 2?
Just 2, but it needs to be truly gluten-free.
Gotcha.
Great. Thank you. Are we all done then?
Carroll County, we have someone who's allergic to tomatoes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't close down the farmer's market.
I don't believe they put, don't let them get the veggie, but they don't put vegetables on the other sandwiches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should be good with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Anyone else?
I'm bringing my own peanut butter and jelly.
All right.
What kind of jelly? And is it crunchy peanut butter?
Great.
Yes.
I forgot I had it all.
Caught you without the mute. So. Okay.
I just don't like any kinds of meats and things like that. So.
Okay.
And I don't like the veggies.
Oh, trailer parking will be where we had it last year, for those who are bringing trailers.
Yeah, we already had the whole thing on a slide, Jack. We're good to go on that.
And we had, but we have one little thing that we're going to move tomorrow. They're having a big waterfront festival the weekend after, and they have a replica of the Eiffel Tower lying on its side, where we normally park the trailer, so we're going to move them in as close to the trees as possible, but you'll still have to walk around them.
Do we have to avoid the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah.
I like
You had to hear us do that, did you?
That's new. That's good.
Are you setting up a mini Vegas there, Jack?
We're working on that.
Where are the blackjack tables going to be?
Right. They'll be well, no, we can't use the pavilion. We can use the ramp going up. We can tap the power in the pavilion, but we can't actually use the pavilion. It's already been committed.
Tomorrow.
But we will have the pavilion on the 3rd.
Very good. Thank you.
Hey, Melissa, this is Jen
Yes.
from Monroe County again. I had one more question about the schedule.
Okay.
So I see that it says the 500 meters at 10, the 200 and 100 at 12:15, and then the 230 at 1K. Are we running the singles first, followed by the doubles in each one of those time slots?
Yes.
Actually, no.
Singles will go first.
No, we because we have some doubles that are using different things. The doubles are interspersed. You'll see. Because I know Frederick County has most of the doubles, or about half of the doubles, and they share share kayaks. So they are interspersed amongst those.
Okay, yeah, we're sharing our one double kayak as well between the two doubles that we have.
Yeah, their heat number or division number is in sequence with everything else. So within that, so I think like the 100, 200s are the our division 201, 202, so on down the line. So I mean, I'm almost certain the first race is a double, about the 20th is a double, and then the last race is a double.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions while we're here?
Pam, do you still need boats?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
have them. On the doubles, Mike, are any of them the ocean kayak sit-on tops?
We'd have to ask the coaches on the call. Any?
I'm asking the coaches.
Frederick
Anybody?
County, no.
No? Okay.
No.
The reason is the college has a very lightweight double sit-on top made by ocean kayaks that we could use. Okay.
All right. If there is no other questions, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and a huge special thank you to Jack for setting everything up and helping with all the preparation for this coming Saturday and everything he's going to be doing Saturday and for the state championships as well.
All right.
So, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks, Jack.